You could say the most important thing in a Rich Rodriguez offense is speed. Well, I'll be damned if they didn't find it with these two guys.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome into Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking 40 times. That's right, man. We got some blazing fast cats on the team that got released today from Jahiem White, of all people, which I am glad he did. Brought to you by Monarch Money. This episode is going to be brought to you by Monarch Money. Can take control of your finances today with Monarch Money and use code LockedOnCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day, and we're going after dark again. So here's the deal, fellas and ladies. We got some fast guys on the team. Jahiem White, Sincere Bowers, and I hate to say it, and Cam Vaughn as well. Actually, I meant to put Cam, if you see this, I meant to put you on the thumbnail, and I'm sorry. I told you so. So far, I'm looking to be pretty damn right about Sincere Bowers. I'm just saying. I seem to be the only person publicly beating the drum for this kid. And then he goes and just when I think he couldn't do anything else, he goes and does something like this. And totally redeems himself with a 4.340. What in the hell's going on with Sincere Bowers, man? Look at this numbers. What do you say to that? And look, I'm not trying to overshadow what Jahiem White did at all. Like, I guess I'm just not surprised that he's that fast. But after 2 knee surgeries, sure, I'll give you that. But I mean, we got a fast running back room, guys. Our slowest guy in the room is a 240-pound, 6'2" guy, and he runs 4.6. That's exceptionally fast for him. Look at the 10-yard splits on these. Jahiem White, 1.52 second 10-yard split. That's elite. But Sincere Bowers at a 1.49 and a 4.3540. Guys, do you know that's what Tavon Austin ran? That's what Tavon Austin ran. What did I tell you guys? What did I put on the thumbnail of Sincere Bowers? Question mark. Next Tavon Austin. I'm not saying he's going to be Tavon. It's just impossible to do that. But I continue to point out that he has a similar skill set, similar size, similar speed, and it just reaffirms what I saw with my eyes on tape, right? This kid is an extremely good athlete. And, you know, I will say this. I wouldn't have been surprised if Jahiem White ran 4.5. I mean, he was close anyway. But the fact that he's put on muscle like he has and is running what he is insane, guys. Insane. A 4.4840 for Jahiem White. That is incredibly good. We'll take every bit of that. 4.58 for Jalen Knighton is really, really good. Cannon Katzer, my guy, I told you guys on film, he looked like a 4.5 guy. And then look, there it is, a 4.56. Dior Hubbard, you know, I wasn't sure what we would get out of him, but 4.6 is good enough. If you're running 4.6 or better at running back, you're good enough. You can do anything. You know, I mean, you look at some of the best running backs in the history of the NFL, even. Some of those guys were Emmitt Smith, right? He was a 4.6 guy, 4.5 guy. Maybe not right out of Florida. When he first came out of Florida, he may have been faster. You know, and then Clayton Ash runs a 4.62. So, you know, not surprised. The offensive linemen don't pay attention to, really. I mean, it matters, but not really. You know, I spoke to a couple of those guys. One of them said it was the slowest time he ran since he was a sophomore in high school. But I will say this: Kimo Makaniole continues to have an incredible showing. That's a very good time. 1.8, 1.85 10-yard split and a 5.340 for a big guy like him is very good. I wish we could see the rest of these. These are just what was shown. And obviously this isn't supposed to be out. Like, this is leaked. Jahiem shared it to his Instagram, so it's public. But I don't think they wanted this stuff to get out. Now, I'm going to do something really quick just because we have every different level of fan that listens to this show. So while some of you guys know what this is supposed to be like, there are going to be some of you guys listening to this being like, what does this mean though? Why should I care about these times? At the end of the day, football is football, and there is a difference between just regular speed, football speed, all these different types of speed that you hear about. But what I'll do is I'll give you a quick breakdown of generally what each position runs at the Power 4 level. I did about an hour's worth of research. I think I've got a good understanding about what it is. I also have a general understanding of what the 10-yard split would be like. What a 10-yard split is 10-yard split is important in football because acceleration, explosiveness, and you do a lot of things inside of 10 yards in football, more than you do inside of 40. Well, more than you do at 40, not inside of 40. So, the 10-yard splits are just as important in some ways because when you're running a route at the sticks, it's 3rd and 10, you got to get to that 10, right? So, it's important, especially for like a receiver and all that. So I'll give you the general times. I'll explain to you what these things are. So I think the best way to explain this is just to say it like this. So the benchmark for how fast players should be running at the top of college football, depending on their position, is these baseline numbers. Okay. For quarterbacks, you want to have around a 1.65 and a 1.75 10-yard split time. They're not quarterbacks aren't typically speed demons. In a rich rod offense, you probably want it to be on the 165 side of things. Running backs, you want it to 155 to 165. They're the guys that need the quick pop. They need to hit the gaps. They got to be lightning fast out of the backfield. Wide receivers and defensive backs, you want them even a little faster at 1.5 or 1.6. Those are the speedsters. Tight ends and fullbacks, you want it to right around 1.7, 1.75, 1.8-ish. You can do 1.6 for some tight ends even. 1.60 to 1.7 seconds, 10 yards split for linebackers. Offensive and defensive linemen, you want anywhere from 1.7 to 1.85. They're not built for speed, but a decent chart shows that they can get a good push off the gaps, off the snap. Average 40-yard dash times now. And I think, as the years go on, these probably continue to go down a little. For quarterbacks, you want anywhere from 4.6 to 4.9, really. You're not Usain Bolt at quarterback, but a decent time helps them scramble when needed. Now, in Rich Rod's offense, you would rather him be on the 4.6 side of that, which is I'd say that's where Nico is. I'd say that's where Jalen is in that area. I would love to have seen their times today. Running backs, you want to be in the 4.5 to 4.7 range. They're workhorses. They have to have speed to break away. If you're 4.5 to 4.7, you can rip off anywhere from, even at 4.7, you can rip off 40 or 50 yards, right? So that's that. At the wide receiver spot, you want them to be 4.4 to 4.6, in my opinion. You can have a guy at 4.7. You can, and they can succeed, but they have to be extremely good, polished route runners where they're twitchy fast, right? You either got to have it in the twitch or you got to have the straight line or hopefully both, like Sincere Bowers. The fastest guys on the field, right? Tight ends or fullbacks are 4.7 to 4.9. You got to have a balance of speed and size for blocking and catching, so they're not always going to be the fastest. Linebackers, you want anywhere from 4.6 to 4.8. They got to be quick enough to cover and tackle. Obviously not as fast as defensive backs, and they got to be able to cover in the middle of the field. Now, in our defense, I I would say we would want our guys to be close to the 4-6 side based on how Zach Alley likes to be aggressive and run those guys around a lot. Offensive lineman and defensive lineman, it varies very, very differently between the two. But if you want to go interior defensive line, those guys can be anywhere from 4'9" to 5'2", to 5'5" even. If you want to talk about what's a good way to, I would say for, on the edge, it gets a little bit different. Like a guy like, let's say, Jamoy Robinson, who probably touches anywhere from 4'5" to 4'7" on there. That's incredible. You want it in that range for your edge rushers, but edge rushers are, once again, the 10-yard split would probably matter more for an edge rusher because you've got that elite burst and things off the line that you really care about. Long speed for a defensive end doesn't really matter as much. I mean, it matters overall, but not as much as the short burst. And they've other drills. They've got cone drills. They've got all different kinds of drills that you can measure that. But at the end of the day, even a slow guy, if he's got good hands and good technique with his hands and things, you can get around a guy and sack a quarterback. It's just all about, if you've got speed, that's great. You can just get around a guy on just speed and alone. If you've got power and speed, that helps a lot too. Like if you've seen, like, you look at a guy last year that we faced some really good guys last year. But I mean, Penn State had really good players, right? No doubt about it. Can't deny it. Obviously, they had a guy go top 3 in the draft. So, he's a great example. He's a guy that probably runs in that 4.4 range, which is his freak athlete. And a lot of times those guys can convert that speed into power. They can use that momentum to get into a bull rush. It's almost impossible to stop. So, with that, what I'm saying is when they have that 10-second explosion, it's probably a little more important for them. That's the breakdown. So with that in mind, what we'll do is we'll go to break, come back. We'll look at the times again for a couple other positions. And then we're going to watch a little tape to see if it matches up on tape, right? We'll see if it makes sense on tape now. Like, because there's a couple guys on here that you might say, I thought they were faster. I thought they were slower, right? We'll be right back. Talk about it next. This is Locked On West Virginia. Did you know Rougiette is literally, guys, doing it big? I know. You probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Well, maybe you've even tried them. I'm not judging if you did. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, not pale, I mean, maybe it's beyond the pale too. I don't know. It's time to get Rougiette Ready for you today. Rougiette Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment. It's designed to amplify arousal in the brain and blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours to kick in, Rougiette's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast like a mule, on average in about 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you've got a large window, and I mean large, to get in there for. And look, you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right? If traditional methods haven't worked for you, Rougiette might be your answer. Over 150,000 guys have made the switch. And I love that it's completely online. It connects you to a board-certified doctor, ships your treatments discreetly to your door. You can even read the customer reviews on their site. It's helping a lot of people feel confident about purchasing the product and being present in the moment. Head to Rougiette.com/LockedOnCollege and use code LockedOnCollege to get 15% off today. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege. Use promo code LockedOnCollege for 15% off. Do it today. And remember this. Individual results are going to vary with prescription treatment with any prescription. Compounded drugs are usually not permitted to be prescribed under federal law and are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Keep that in mind. So why don't you just go ahead and visit the Rougiette website for full safety information today and have fun. It's segment 2. Let's get Rougiette off the screen here. And I've got a Gatorade. No dew. I get it. I told you guys I'd quit drinking dew for a while. So that's where we're at. We quit with the dew for now. I'm not happy about it, but I had to do it. I had to do it. That was a really, really long ad, by the way. Big ad. Total aroused ad. All right. Let's get back into it here with these times. You know, so sorry for the crude way these are up on the screen, but thanks, Dylan, for the screenshot. Let's look at these receivers, and then we'll go to some tape watch here. We're not going to be able to show everybody, but I think we can get a look at a good bit. One thing I noticed right away, Armani Weaver, 4.62. That one surprised me quite a bit, if I'm going to be totally honest. On tape, he is so much faster than everybody else. It's not even close. And a really good route runner at that. I'm willing to bet that's not his best time. A true freshman, by the way. But also, he's a great route runner, so it made me look a little better than he was at times even, could possibly be. And some guys are just football fast. I continue to say that. 40 times aren't everything, and I want to make sure I keep pumping that out. Jarrell Williams at 4.51 is much better than I thought he would be. Jeff Weimer is on here. Guys, I didn't even think he was on the team. Honestly, we haven't heard from him since he signed. Cam Vaughn at 4.41 and a 1.57 split. That's elite. That's as good as it gets in the NFL for a receiver his size at 6'2". Very impressive. Very impressive. I must say. What about Logan Ramper, man? What about my guy? What about my boy? Logan Ramper with a 4.49. I missed that because Jahiem's little thing here is in the way. So I didn't even see that. My guy, Logan Ramper, another guy that I've been on all offseason long. Justin Smith-Brown at 4.4. Wow. And a 1.58 split. Look at Oron Singleton's split right here. 1.53 split. Is that the fastest? Rodney Gallagher's is at 1.53. Hello, honey. Get down. Get down for now. She's not happy about it. So look, here's the thing. If you'll notice on a couple of these guys, Cam Vaughn, 1.57, 10-yard split. Oron Singleton is at a 1.53. Rodney Gallagher's at a 1.53, right? Gerard Bowie at 1.55. But, I mean, if you see it here, like the two guys I would consider to be the leaders in the slot position are quicker, right? Off the line and inside of 10 seconds. So that makes a lot of sense, right? Two guys I expect to be really good slot players. And then your long speed guys, Cam Vaughn at a 4.41, Justin Smith-Brown at a 4.4, Logan Ramper. Listen, if Logan Ramper runs a 4.49 at 6'4", we've got an absolute gem on our hands here. As a matter of fact, I would have probably put him on the thumbnail at that. That's incredible. I didn't really see that because of this before. For those of you listening on podcasts, this is a screenshot Jahiem White took of his 40 time. It has a bunch of other players included, but it cuts off at a certain point at the offensive line and then down at tight ends and fullbacks below. We did get Grayson Barnes in at a 4.7, which is good. Not terrible at all. But, point is 40 times are just one piece of the puzzle, but you can at least figure out if a guy's got long speed or not. Logan Ramper running a 4.49 with a 1.58 split is freaking incredible. 6'4", 220 pounds. I would buy some Logan Ramper stock right now if I was anybody. I'm going to have to get his tape up here in a second, and I need to start getting to it because we're going to run out of time. Camden Pitchford of 4.89 is not good, but he's a freshman. Want to give a kid time to acclimate and get in the weight room, get stronger and things, and I bet he'll improve that time by quite a bit. But 4.8's not going to work exactly. Look, maybe some of the slowest guys ever were good receivers, though. That's really true. I'm not just saying that. See if I missed anybody. Let's just go through the whole list so we didn't miss anybody. We're going to leave out offensive line. It just doesn't matter. They're all over 5. The only one, and Nick Cray at a 179 split, 10-yard split's really good. That's why he's going to be our left tackle. But Clay Ash at 4.62 and 159 split is good. It's not bad. It's not terrible at all, right? It's a good speed. Sincere Bowers at a 4.35 40, incredible. 1.49 10-yard split. Ty Edwards at a 1.58 10-yard split and a 4.6 40. Dior Hubbard at a 1.53 split, 4.6 40. Cannon Katz at a 1.55 and a 4.56 40. Jalen Knighton at a 1.54 and a 4.58 40. Jahiem White at a 1.52 10-yard split. That's one of the fastest on the list, and a 4.48 40. Just incredible for him. Congratulations, Jahiem White. Gerard Bowie at a 1.55 10-yard split and a 4.5 40, 4.53 40. Jaden Bray, I probably should have brought him up sooner than now. He's right there in that 4.5 range, which is a very, very good, plenty fast enough to pull away. And a 1.56 40. At his size, though, good Lord, that's a great time. Tyshawn Dews at a 4.65 and a 1.62 40 time. Preston Fox at a 1.58 10-yard split and a 4.59 40. It's very good. You would hope he was faster, but, it's not slow, right? Rodney Gallagher at a 1.53 10-yard split and a 4.5 40. Christian Hamilton, 1.61 and a 4.5 40. Jordan McCants, a 1.6 and a 4.5 40. Pittsburgh's got the 1.69 and a 4.8 40. Oron Singleton, a 1.53, which, like I said, he's another guy that's in that slot. It just so happens that he's also at that 1.53 10-yard split and a 4.5 40. I would be willing to bet he can get down in the 4.4s just based on his tape. But he didn't today. Then you got Cyrus Trawl with no time, but you got Logan Ramper with a 1.58 split and a 4.49 40, which is absolutely bonkers. Cam Vaughn, we talked about him, 4.41. Armoni Weaver, 4.46. Jeff Weimer at a 4.59, which is really good for his size as well, at 1.55. And Jarrell Williams, who some people say the Saraland, Alabama native could be a sleeper this year at a 1.57 and 4.5 40. Maybe he's worked himself into somebody. Grayson Barnes, 1.67 split and a 4.7 40, which is good for a receiving tight end. It's probably about where Cole Taylor was, I would say. If you go up here, you can look at actually one or two more, I believe. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Raymond Kowaleski at 5.4 40. So it's nothing of consequence, but it's just two separate screenshots that I see. It's got one more name on it. I don't know why. So maybe it's two separate people taking the picture or whatever. All right, guys, let's go to break. Let's do that. We'll come back. We got some tape for you. We're just going to watch a couple plays apiece and see if it matches up on tape. It'll be a fun exercise. Stick around. This is Locked On West Virginia. Hey, look, it's back on another episode of Locked On West Virginia talking about Monarch Money. And if you've ever wished managing money was easier, well, Monarch Money is the place you can go, and it will help you. Whether you're growing your savings, planning a big purchase, or what have you, Monarch Money puts you in a driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, right? Giving you full visibility and control of your finances. And I know I like visibility and control. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one easy, convenient place. So in addition to managing your money, you can also build your wealth. Take control of your finances today with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com for half off your first year. Back here, Locked on West Virginia, segment 3. I would love to have seen the 40 times for everybody, man, but that's all right. We got to start this thing off with a bang. And unfortunately, guys, I'm going to look and see. We're going to start with Jahiem White. He's earned that. Um, so, you know, here's a little clip of him. I don't know exactly what it's about. But I mean, we've all seen Jahiem run around with the ball. We all have an idea with what he looks like with the ball in his hands. I'll be honest, 4.40 is a little faster than I thought he was. I thought he would have been a 4.5 guy. So this is great. I'm really glad to see this. Unfortunately, without getting copywritten, I don't think I can find anything that I can play of his, but I had to at least pull him up and show the one play there. But we all know what Jahiem looks like as far as that goes. But what we weren't used to is, let me see if I can find it here first, because if you haven't seen this yet, you got to see it. Should be here somewhere. Jahiem White is absolutely enormous this offseason. He's gained at least 15 pounds of muscle, if not more. But I don't see it. And you look how he looked when he came in and where he's at now, it's a huge difference. But unfortunately, I don't see that picture that I was looking for. But trust and believe me, he is absolutely a monster right now with the muscle. So he's put on a bunch of muscle. I don't know if he put on weight or not, but he's put on a bunch of muscle. So Jahiem White, let me get rid of these, is definitely deserving of all the praise and accolades he's been getting. And I'm not shocked to find out that he's ran what he did. Now let's get to the next one. Sincere Bowers, man. The guy that I've had him on the show. I did a little NIL thing with him. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to show that. Let me get back to that. Sincere Bowers. Okay, so get to the media over here with him. All right, so we all know Sincere is where it's at, baby. So, I've showed his tape a few times on the show before, and I've always talked about his long speed, but now watch it with 4.40 in mind and see if that helps you any at all. Just love the way he dances through the hole, cuts it to the outside, and if you'll notice on tape, he never gets caught from behind. Never. And he runs a 4.340. I'm sorry. 4.340, not 4.4. Yeah, this is a 4.340 guy. And like I kept telling you guys in the past, I just think the skill set is very similar to what Tavon does. And I'm not, like, and I always say as well, not saying he's going to be Tavon. I'm just saying he does similar things. He's the same size. He's the same level of quickness, same level of speed. You can see it, right? I got a lot of backlash for his initial video I did where I said I think he's a 5-star player. I still believe that. I still believe he's a high-end. I believe he's a high-end 4-star or 5-star player, and nobody just knows about him. That's my personal belief, and I won't get off of it until somebody proves me wrong. I'm just glad that this number was posted today because it felt a little vindicated. Still got to do it on the field, but I still think people were sleeping on my guy. So and this ain't all about him, but I felt vindicated today, guys. I won't lie, because I caught some heat for promoting him as much as I have been. Not a surprise to see the 4.3 speed, though. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to be 4.4, 4.5 or something, but 4.3 is a whole nother. That's one extra gear up. It's like grabbing 6th gear. So, and he's got that. You see it when he gets especially into his long speed. Once he really kicks it in gear, he just zooms past people. And the thing that makes him a little different, in my opinion, is how he's able to cut at full speed. I think that's what makes him so dangerous. So, when you look at his game overall, he's not huge or anything like that, but man, is he just, here's a great one too. I think this angle here shows how much dirt he's kicking up when he runs with it. And I love those cuts, and he's got such a long gait, a much longer gait than people realize, I think. So, yeah, I love the kid. We'll see what happens with him. Obviously rooting hard for him, but definitely want him to do well as we go through. Now we've got Cam Vaughn. Obviously love his stuff as well. Couldn't be happier that Cam Vaughn is a Mountaineer. Think he deserves it. He's absolutely proven that he deserves to be at this level. No doubt about that. Um, I think, you know what, now that I realize I think his tape it's just searchable on, hold on, Cam Vaughn. Um, yeah, here it is. This is the only play we really need. If you think about it. Let's get it right. So you remember I was telling you guys those 10-yard splits are really important. So here's Cam right here, right? On this play, the play is literally for Huff to throw a slant to Cam Vaughn. And the quicker you can get to those sticks, the quicker he can get rid of it to you, and the pass rush won't get there. It's all correlated together. And as you can see, it's a play fake. And by the time he pulls that thing out, his foot's in the ground and he's moving, right? But here's where that long speed takes over, that 4.4 speed that he's got. You catch it, and instead of getting tackled right here, you're so much faster, you just pull away. That's 4.4 speed. That's what that is. So that and it looks like it, right? You can look at that and say, yep, that makes sense. That's 4.4 speed, not a surprise. So Cam Vaughn, every bit the 4.4 guy that we've thought he has been. And once again proving what I think a lot of us think he is going to be. And what is that? A star at the Big 12 level. He was a sophomore last year, guys, and was their leading receiver with almost 1,000 yards on a running team. This kid's got truly special ability, and I'm really excited to see what he does. Another guy that's got really just incredible speed for his size, Ty Edwards. But, look right here as he gets the ball. Watch the couple little jukes he does just as soon as he touches it. He's got really great feet and really just so nimble for a guy his size. Boom, boom. And then, he's got enough, right? He's got enough explosion right here to outrun this angle. At the Big 12 level, I don't know. But once he gets into his gate right here, I do believe that he probably gets into that line of scrimmage. And it's not really, I shouldn't call it 4.5 range, but I think, whenever a guy gets at top speed, some guys, if you let them run 100 meters per se, will outrun a guy that's faster than them in the 40, right? So there are some guys that don't really hit that gear until way later on into a gate, like Usain Bolt was, right? Usain Bolt was a guy that looked like he was going to lose maybe 50% or 60% into a 100-yard dash. And then all of a sudden, his gate kicks in, and oh, shit, here he comes.
Ty
Edwards is very similar in that.
Back in. He gets the carry left side, wide open lane.
Tell me he's
using
not fast.
His speed, the stiff arm at the 30, and he is gone.
So, Ty Edwards is another one that I think has a great chance to just absolutely be just a huge. I mean, he's 6'3"? Is he 6'4" or 6'2"? I can't even remember anymore. Sometimes I forget. Let's see. Let me see what his actual height is again really quick. He is okay, so he's 6'2", 228. So at 6'2", 228, he's doing that. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. We got to look at least one more here. We'll just look it up live together here. Logan Ramper. Logan Ramper is somebody that I can't believe he's running a 4.4. That's so impressive. But also not shocking when you see the tape. Like I've said over and over when I watch his tape, he just keeps getting behind people. How does he keep getting behind people? Because you just don't expect a guy that's 6'4", like a legit 6'4", 220 pounds, that's white also. I mean, it does matter a little bit to be this fast. White guys are typically not the fastest at receiver in the country. There are guys that are, but generally speaking, like you don't see lightning fast white dudes that are 6'4" tall. They're usually like David Sills, kind of like they're high pointing the ball. They're boxing guys out. They're out physicaling guys, or they're really good route runners. Like Wes Welker or Julian Edelman, like those kind of guys. Which they're not. Julian Edelman had some speed too, but like a big guy like this that can run, man, that's the total package that you just don't get every day. It's rare. Okay, it's got music. I was wondering. And you could see it right off the get-go with that play right there. I mean, if you ask me to gauge his time just based off of watching this one play, I would say 4.4, 4.5. That would be my guess, right? To me, anyway, from my eye, the way I see football, I don't know how else to put it. Like as you see him coming to frame right here, first of all, I love the swim over of the DB right here to get free. But watch as he just absolutely just blows by here. I mean, he's moving right there, and just such a smooth runner. There's nothing unathletic about it. There's nothing clunky about it. Like he is getting on it. So I really love to see that. Here he is again, getting one way down there. But man, guys, look, if this kid can run 4.4 like he did today, and has long speed like that, and as you can see up at the top here, I mean, he had to slow down for the ball, but I mean, if you just watch him come off the ball and run this route up here, watch him, first of all, the release is really good. I love Logan Ramper's tape. He's just got good long speed, and the ability to high point it too is another part to this. So the questions that you have about him now are, can he apply it at this level? That's the only question. If he can, look out. Look out. I'm really rooting for him. I am. I'm really rooting for him, man. I really like Logan Ramper a lot. I love the passion he plays with too, which you see on tape a lot. He plays with a ton of passion. He gets pissed. He consistently loves to, and there's another great high point. He's got good hands. He catches the ball softly. Breaks a ton of tackles. He's a tough tackle. So, he does a lot of different things well. We'll see what happens with him. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more out of Logan. Was there anybody else on that list? You know what? Somebody we haven't seen in a while. We might as well take our time to do it. And I don't know if his tape is on here or not. Well, we'll just watch these clips here. So Jeff Weimer ran a, what was it, guys? Let me look again. Jeff Weimer ran I should look at Justin Smith-Brown as well. I could do this for days. I really could, guys. This is like me in my wheelhouse. What I love to do in life. So where am I at? Weimer. That's right. A 4.59. That's what we got here from Weimer. 4.59. And that's a very good speed for a wide receiver. That's like, okay, this guy can run. And if you watch him on tape, at 6'2", 220 pounds, I mean, he moves well, right? And it's the routes for me that I love about Weimer. I don't understand why things have been so quiet about him. Like, because I was like, even guys in the media that I spoke to about him thought that maybe he didn't come because he was the last guy we signed after the spring. And we didn't hear anything about him. So I don't know if he's gone through an injury or what here, but I mean, certainly. And this is in 2020, by the way. This is before he went to UNLV and caught like 30 balls or whatever it was. He went to UNLV, had a really good first season before he got injured. And then he went to Idaho State last year where he had 75 balls. What he get? Well, I don't know if it shows it here or not. I think he caught either 69 or 75 balls for over 1,000 yards for them. But yeah, Weimer, man, that's my guy too. I would love I've tried to have him on before, but he hasn't responded in a while, unfortunately. But yeah, Jeff Weimer is my guy, brothers. I'm really hoping that he turns into what I think he can. Like, I really like when I look at our wide receiver room, a lot of people see question mark. Oh, I didn't realize I had that up. Sorry, guys. Didn't realize I had that up. Got to take it down. But anyways, Weimer's a guy, man, I think is big time if we can get him to do some things. We'll look at one more. I'll make sure I take it down really quick. Sorry about that. We'll go back and let y'all see the Weimer stuff really quick since I missed it. We'll just watch a couple clips. So what I showed was these couple clips of Weimer here, who just runs the great routes. That's what he does well. So at 4.5 speed, the routes that he's capable of running, those cuts are beautiful. And this, like I said, this is back in 2020. This is 5 years ago. This is like 17-year-old him looking good, right? And now he's 5 years later, 5 years better, hopefully. So he's a really old guy. He's going to be 22, 23 in that room. He's coming off a 75 catch year where he went over 1,000 yards, I believe. And he's got a ton of ability. I really do think Weimer's got a chance to make an impact for us. I don't know to what extent exactly, but certainly excited. Justin Smith Brown. Okay, so he's one of the only people on the team that don't follow me. I haven't been able to get through to him at all. He's been like totally silent, which is fair. I mean, listen, I'm definitely not
Phoenix.
I'm definitely not criticizing him at all. I'm just saying, haven't been able to get a hold of him for whatever reason. So here's another one of our 4-4 guys, a guy that can take the top off the defense. And Justin Smith Brown, I believe, is 6'1". Let me make sure. All right. No, says he's 6 feet tall. Okay, so he's only 6. So he's 6 feet tall. My fault. I guess they had him listed too tall over at South Carolina State, which makes sense. Happens all the time.
Again.
And here he is already way behind everybody.
Phoenix again. Back over the middle.
So let's turn that off. I wanted to listen to it, but the music started playing. Justin Smith Brown. I remember that left-handed quarterback they got, man. He throws a lot of deep down the field balls. Look at him on his gate here, man. First of all, the quarterback chucks this thing, but look at Justin Smith Brown really get on his hump here to catch up with this ball. He's got some wheels. I can see 4.4. I can absolutely see 4.4. This is another guy. He put up a ton of numbers. What did he do last year? See, it says right here on the first article, 6'1", 190. Oh, Lord. That's crazy. So he had 55 catches for 749 yards last year. 55 balls he caught last year for them. So a very productive year for him. Love to see him replicate that here this year. But there's another guy that, what can he do? He's got great speed, obviously. 4.4 guy, as shown today. That means he can take the top off of defenses. He's got enough positional size to do it. He's, 6 feet tall. So, there's on a couple of these plays, especially, like you can see the speed. Absolutely. We'll take that. So Justin Smith Brown, another guy that I'm excited about for the future, guys, for sure. We got a lot of guys in that room that I think can make impacts, and we shall see what happens. All right. I know. I'm sorry. I forgot to take the 40-yard dash times down, but very fun episode. This is right up my alley. I wish I had more numbers like that. If you guys didn't see my Camden Goforth interview, it was right before this one. Go check it out. Great interview with the kid. He squats 700 pounds. He's got all kinds of records. He went viral on some of these NFL guys reacted to his video. Like it's so funny, the reaction he's got for that clip that he put up of him just pancaking everybody. Go check it out. Give him some support. it got a little awkward at times. I would say he's probably not the most talkative guest that I've had on. I love him to death, but I think there was a couple times where I was it happens when you're interviewing people. Inevitably, they're going to have dead silence sometimes. So, but overall, man, I think Camden's another great kid. And as that's all we're here for is to support these kids, to put them on a pedestal, to make them look good. Just like I tell them before I interview them, I'm not here to hit you with hard hitting questions. I'm not here to get to the breakdown or to get to the bottom of some rooted problem that you might have or some kind of, I'm not trying to play the detective about the team or anything like that. All this is a platform for me. Basically, I'm paying you to come on here to make you look good. I mean, it's like a great deal for them, some of them. So at the end of the day, though, it's not always going to be smooth sometimes. So I think I did 4 videos today. I also went on Hotline today, talked with Dave Weekly. That was awesome. I had a really good time doing that. They want me back. They said I did a good job. They liked me breaking down some of the positional battles, and you guys know I like to go deep into it. So I started getting they asked me about he asked me a question because Javon Small going to get drafted, like we think. And he said, who is on West Virginia's team this year that could get drafted next year? And I wanted to say Lorient, but I went with Eagle Staff, and I said, the thing about Eagle Staff is you start to look at his on-off numbers. I was starting to dive deep into the analytics, and I had to pull myself out of it because I was on the radio, the casual fan listening, like, what the hell is on-off numbers? So I was like, I have to stop. Brain stop. Please stop. It stopped finally, but then it didn't stop, because I was thinking, maybe that would be a good point. Dave would get it, wouldn't he? But at the end of the day, I think I stopped it myself. A couple other things really quick before we get off here. I got a big trip coming up. You guys know, going to Utah to meet BYU's team. That's going to be interesting. I've been invited to I've been given a gracious brand deal to go down there, use this platform that you guys have helped me build and show what tourism is going to be like in Provo for when West Virginia plays against BYU. My mom and I are going to drive the trip up. I think that's going to be really fun. It's about a 3-day trip. So we'll drive 8 hours, 3 different days. It's a 27-hour trip. We'll drive 9 on the 3rd day. I think that's what it is. I think that's the breakdown. So maybe it's 25 hours, actually, 25. And so we're going to get there. We're going to be able to do things like I think we're going to ride this thing up the mountain, like up a ski mountain kind of thing. There's horseback riding potential. They said they've got an itinerary. I got to pick all this stuff out so they can book me in. They're paying for all of it. They're paying me to go. It's nuts. It's like, this is the first time I've felt special as a streamer. I'm not going to lie. So it's pretty crazy. Oh no, Fester. I'll be honest, Fester, who I don't think he's in here today, but Fester brought me this this computer setup and brought it to me, which is like a $5,000 setup. That was pretty cool too. Or Sean, who got me the laptop, that was cool. Or Raven and Dylan and Shaq and everybody that got me the headphones or the microphone. I mean, that was like $500. Like, I'm telling you guys, the blessed doesn't even begin to describe it. It really doesn't. Here's another thing. Game Changers that just had Tim Tebow and Nico Marchiol want me to do something with them. They want me back on ESPN to do a weekly thing. Dave Weekly wants me to come back. They want me in Utah. The only place I can't make any hay with was actually with West Virginia. Can't get any credentials yet. So I'm going to keep trying, though. And to be fair, I'm not really asking because I guess it's one of those things I don't want to be turned down. But, hey, look, you guys are helping me do this. We're going along for the ride. So make sure you subscribe along. Hang out with us throughout this process, and help me get to 5,000 because, look, I'm paying somebody. The one that gets me to 5,000, you're going to get paid. So if you're watching this and you want some money, just click the subscribe button. Come over to YouTube, or if you're watching on X, search Locked On West Virginia, hit subscribe. And if you're number 5,000, we're like very close to that. I'm going to pick one of the last 150 people going back to a week now, I think it's been. One of the last 150 people are going to get up to 5,000 are going to get $50 from me. I'll send it right to you, show it to you right on the show. We'll see. Other than that, guys, Raven and everybody keeps talking about the Discord in the chat. Make sure you check the Discord out as well. We got a lot going on in there some days we don't. But they always keep it active in there, even if I'm not in there some days. I think that's all the updates I have for you right now. I'm doing a lot better with anxiety today, which is why I pumped out so many videos. Obviously, yes, you have, Kenny. You're right. Kenny, Mountaineer Larry Kenny has been here with me since close to the start. Yep. Sure have, buddy. Appreciate that. A lot of you guys have. So some of you guys found me during the Rich Rod search, I think. Other people found me during others searches. And, it's been pretty fun, man. We've been through a lot of different things on the show, and I'd like to reminisce about that sometimes. It's being in the moment is fun sometimes. It couldn't do it without you guys. Appreciate y'all for being here. I'll be back tomorrow for sure. We'll talk about something. Hopefully we have a day like today. We had a big basketball guy on campus today, and I'm hearing things went really well. We'll see what happens. I got to dig into that as soon as we get off here and figure out what's going on. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. Go in the Discord. I'll let you know as soon as I know. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, and for being part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day, and I'll talk to you then. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.